I got the whole place to myself. I've been thinking a ton lately about how much creatives and athletes have in common. We all want to be the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be. We all want to find out what we're capable of. We all want to push ourselves to our absolute limit. And I think for a lot of creatives and I think for a lot of athletes, our biggest fear in life isn't losing, it's not coming up short, it's not doing enough to find out what we're capable of, It's leaving potential on the table. I think there's a lot that we as creatives can learn from how athletes approach their work, their mindset, how they set goals, who they surround themselves with, things like that. Creativity is a sport when you think about it. The way that we should approach creativity is no different than how an athlete should approach their sport. Here's something that creative people struggle with a lot. We have very abstract goals. You'll never meet an athlete who doesn't have a super concrete goal. What does every football player want to do? Win the freaking Super Bowl. What does every golfer want to do? They want to win the Masters. We as creative people, we don't have a Super Bowl. We don't have a Masters. We don't have a trophy that we get to lift at the end of the season and be like, I did it. We don't all have this common thing we're chasing. Creativity turns out to be an individual game, and I'll kind of talk on that a little bit later. So my first piece of advice for anyone who wants to pursue the sport of creativity like an athlete, you gotta create your own championship. You gotta create your own trophy, a super concrete goal. It might be to get 1 million YouTube subscribers. It might be to publish a book. Honestly, it might just be something simple. It might just be finish this painting. For me personally, the trophy I'm chasing right now is to hit publish on YouTube 100 times. This right here is number one. When you see this, I am 1% towards my goal. And the amazing thing about creativity is once you get that goal, you can always make a next one. Your limits and your potential and your ability just keeps expanding. Your goals get bigger. But in order to do that, we'll never reach those goals if we don't know what we're chasing in the first place. I think another thing too that really goes along with that is every athlete, they have that Super Bowl or that Masters or that World Series. Just having that concrete goal that they're all chasing, that builds the structure of their work. They don't have to wonder why they're waking up in the morning and doing work. They all know why they're waking up in the morning and going to work. It's to get to that point. So when you have that point in your head, when you say, oh, I want to publish 100 YouTube videos, I want to write a book, I want to do this or that, you can take that and then you build your whole work around it so that you don't need to create a reason every day to get out of bed and do the hard work. You already know what it is. It's there in front of you. You just got to do it. So you find your goal, you develop a plan, your goal is shaping your work. Now it's time to practice and prepare like an athlete. The training that any successful athlete goes through, it is tough, it is grueling, it is rigorous, it's repetitive, and a lot of the times their training revolves around the things that they suck at, not the things they're great at. If you're a golfer and you suck at 10-foot putts, you're probably going to spend a lot of time doing 10-foot putts. If you are an NFL kicker and you suck at kicking from the right hash and you're amazing at the left hash, you're probably going to spend a lot of time kicking from the right hash because you suck at it. For me, my field goal from the right hash is this, talking into a camera. I hate every second of this, honestly. None of this feels natural to me, but you know what? Who really cares? I'm going to do this so many times until I love it. You spend time through weakness, and eventually it's not even a weakness anymore. It's just something that you love doing. That's the goal with all this. All right, if I had to pick one thing that athletes are really good at and creatives do really, really poorly, it's surrounding ourselves with people who make us better. Here's why I say this. Every athlete has some combination of coach, teammate, and trainer. Creative people, we too often believe that creativity has to be a solo venture. Creativity can be a team sport. There's no reason why you can't have a mentor. Someone creative that you look up to and who has gone before you and has done the hard things and has gone where you want to go, there's no reason why you can't find that person. And it doesn't even have to be a person that you know personally. I don't have a physical creative mentor that I, text every, week or that I get lunch with every month. If I had to pick like a creative mentor that I have, it would probably be someone like Rick Rubin, who, he has his book, The Creative Act. He has his podcast. And every time I'm feeling a little bit creatively lost or a little bit creatively confused, I read a chapter or two of that book, I listen to a podcast episode, and usually that gets me back in the headspace that I need to be creative. And then as far as teammates, there's no reason why you can't have a collaborator. If you can find one or two or however many collaborators that you trust and that you work well with, that as a creative person, you have struck gold. It's a whole different ballgame when you go from creativity as a solo venture to creativity as a team sport, and this is my teammate, this is my collaborator. When that happens, almost every time you are going to elevate each other. Find a collaborator you can work with that inspires you, that motivates you, and that you work well with, and go make some amazing shit. Okay, so you've got your trophy in mind. You're building your work around your goals. You've got a mentor, you've got collaborators. Final step is we need to take on the mentality of an athlete. We need to think like an athlete when we're approaching the sport of creativity. First and foremost, what do athletes do? They have fun with their work. Nobody has more fun with their work than an athlete does. Number two, they spend time thinking about their failures, but they never let it consume them. At least the really successful ones. They spend time intentionally trying to understand what got them to that point and how when they get to that point the next time, how they won't respond the way that they did that made them fail in the first place. Then the final thing that truly defines an athlete's mentality is you gotta understand that you are always competing against one person, and it is you. You're not competing against me, you're not competing against the guy next to you, you're not competing against the person who has 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 followers more than you do. Social media has done a lot of great things for creatives. It's given us tools to get our voice out there. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now without it. At the same time, it's given us the idea that if this guy's winning, I must be losing. And that's just not the case. Comparison is a thief of joy. Nothing will kill your creative energy faster than comparison. If you made it this far, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said before, the goal I'm chasing, the trophy I'm chasing, these sirens, man, is supposed to 100 YouTube videos. I don't have a time limit on that. I just need to hit publish 100 times, and this was number 1. When you see this, I'm going to be 1% towards my goal. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want to see the rest of the 99. Thank you for watching. Have a great one. Let's get back to work. Let's pursue creativity like an athlete would, and have a good one.